We're going to see something. In Wisdom of Solomon, we're going to pick this up at chapter 14. And we're going to pick him down as we go down. We're going to go down to verse 11. And we're going to see the problem. We're going to see the problem here. And we're going to go to somewhere else also. So he says, for that reason, even upon the idols of the Gentiles. Remember, we read that already with Paul, where we was led by them, and we need to know what this again. We're going to find out what Gentiles actually is. But the main thing is said, for the idols of the Gentiles, there shall be a visitation. Now we know it's going to be a visitation actually going to happen. And it says, because the creature of God, they are become an abomination, a stumbling blocks of the souls of men, including a snare to the desires of the unwise. Exactly what it's talking about. This is our problem. And one of the problems is why I said this is what he's talking about here. We're going to get right back into why they are Gentiles. Because people will sit there and say, no, this not, but we're going to prove the point because we want to see make sure what they're talking about. In Genesis chapter 10, we're going to pick it up at verse 2. We're going to pick it up at verse 2. And it says, in the sons of Japhet. So we're seeing this, sons of Japhet. And Gomer, Magog, and Medai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Mishal, and Tarshish. And we have the three sons of Gomer. These are still children of Japhet. Askenaz, and Rapha, and Togomar. In verse 4, we have one of the dangerous ones that's in here is Javan, but we have Askelon and Tarshish and Kittim and Dudam. And it tells you here, which is clear in scripture. By these were the isles of the Gentiles, divided by their lands. Everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. So most people they mix this up and they said the isles are the islands, and that's not the truth either. When you look at it, you want to look at the function of what's going on here. When you see isles, what it's actually telling you is folly, fools. And then you can also see what it can also mean the main one, which is foundation of a habitable land. That's all that actually means. Dry land. And they did that to where they can go worship other things. That's why he put them off to the house of the Gentiles divided by their land, because they was into all kind of craziness. So he had to put them off to the house of the Gentiles. That's why that happened. This is why this is going on right here. And you see in Genesis 10. And to make sure we get that, we're going to look at verse 16 in Wisdom of Solomon. We'll get that understanding, which is why the visitation happened. It says, thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom grew strong, was kept, comparing a law, even and grieving images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, by these guys. They doing all kind of crazy stuff. They're doing all this crazy stuff. Let's look at 17 and we're going to check something. And it says this here, and why they was put up, it says, whom men could not honor in the presence because they dwelt far off, because it was put away. And it says, they took the counterfeit of his image from far and made an express image of a king, whom they honored at the end, that by their forwardness, by their ignorance, that they might flatter him that was absent, as if he were present. Wow. It's telling you right up front what they did.